Hi, I'm Melissa Bell, and welcome to the Business Roundup, where we catch up with the movers and shakers in the business world. Today, joining me is Phil Friedman. He's the founder and CEO of Computer Generated Solutions. Thank you so much for joining me today.
My pleasure.
What I like to do before we kind of kick things off is kind of get a little bit about your background and the company's background. So do you mind kind of sharing like how you got started in the industry and what the company does?
So, Melissa, Computer Generated Solutions, CGS, is a 42-year, very diversified technology company. Um, you probably can notice by my New England accent that I wasn't born in this country. I came to United States as a refugee in 1976. And my background was electronic engineering, economics, and finance. Went back to school in New York and studied computers at the time. And in 1983, I was bold enough, I guess, to start a technology company that was supporting software implementation in the fashion industry. And the fashion industry only because that was a job I had for several years running a department in a fashion company, IT department. But over the years, CGS changed. We still have a major portion of our business in software, and we are today probably the largest supplier of solutions to the fashion industry around the globe. We have customers in over 50 countries around the globe. But we also have an outsourcing group where we deliver solutions from many different countries to technology companies, fintech companies, oriented customers, companies as well. So very diversified in that respect. We have a training company and we have a new entity that we started 2.5 years ago, which is called CGS Immersive Services. So close to 8,000 employees, 21 offices in 9 countries, and still growing.
That's amazing. And you're talking 1983, have been a lot of changes since then. That's before even things really got rolling in the web and just everything that's happened has unfolded and all these throughout the years. Now, what are some of the changes that you've seen as far as like in the industries and trying to like kind of create, these types of solutions?
So you're absolutely correct. The industry is changing, and the uniqueness of the technology industry, that things are changing constantly at incredible speed, and we need to buckle up just to keep up with what's happening in the industry. I always, and I'm going to date myself, I always say that I was lucky enough, and I still remember the first mainframe computers. I remember when, the desktop computer was introduced, and then the internet, and now AI. And every time a new technology comes around, people are trying to figure out how we're going to use it and how we going to make it useful and how will it change our lives. So every time we deal with this question and every time we are concerned about the effects of the new technology, but this time it feels and it is a little bit different. I think AI and the effect on the industry and the effect on the overall economy, not only in the United States, but global economy, will be tremendous. We probably don't fully appreciate or fully understand what it will do for us in terms of productivity, how we will need to reskill the workforce because we will require very different skills. Some jobs will probably go away and will never return, but some new opportunities will be created that we don't even apprehend today, and we don't understand what kind of skills we will need. It's moving at incredible speed, and the opportunities are endless.
Yeah, no, definitely. And now, how are companies, in regards to this and just changes overall, like scaling people, culture, and skills in this AI driven type of industry, era?
So again, if you open today any newspaper, any journal, you listen to the news, one of the major concerns is reskilling the employees. What will happen with redundancy? What will happen because AI will replace the need of certain skills, certain employees? And I do believe that it is a serious issue. In the long run, I think we will adjust. This, a lot of what's happening is while many things will change revolutionary and it will happen overnight, some things will happen evolutionary in evolutionary process. So we will need different skills. Obviously, you know, we will probably improve productivity tremendously. But the skills that we will need to adapt the technology. Someone will need to handle the technology. The human element will not disappear. And while some industries will be hit first and very badly, some industries will thrive. So we have a product called Cicero that we use to reskill employees. And it's on a large scale, it's a AI born tool that allows us to use the tool to practice new skills. And totally, I will give you an example. We have a major medical devices company, one of the largest in the world as a customer, that has 25,000 salespeople selling surgical devices all over the world. And it's about 1,000 different surgical devices. To train people and allow them to adapt the skills to sell the product requires long periods of time, sometimes months. Sometimes the people leave the classes, the in-person classes, without fully understanding the process. With the Cicero tool, we create an electronic environment, a virtual environment, where the person can practice the skills with the avatar. It's a humanoid-based, AI-based avatar that takes into account all the information about the products, internal databases, market available data, and allows this person to train how to interact with a potential customer, how to go to a surgeon's office and be able to explain in normal human language how to use the tool and how the tool will benefit the doctor, how it will benefit the patient. And he can practice this process in the comfort of his own environment as many times as he wants. And the tool will come back and will assess, did you present the product correctly? Did you make mistakes in presenting the capabilities of the product? What can you improve? How do you convince this doctor that your product is the best product in the marketplace? So a lot of things are coming to the market that will enable the workforce to be reskilled. And this is AI-based tools, avatar-based tools that we didn't have just, a short year, 2 years ago.
That's incredible. I know because I know the days of going for like a seminar or for like a training. Where I worked for Subaru for a little while. We had to go to Cherry Hills, New Jersey, which was their plant, and we had to
Yeah.
do like a full week long like immersion on like really getting to know the engine and all this type of stuff. And it's expensive too, probably if you have to fly a bunch of people, salespeople to there to learn.
Melissa, at one point, CGS had 300 full-time instructors. We did a lot of work for U.S. government, and we had presence in every military base around the globe in 33 countries. 300 instructors, hotel rooms, setups in conference rooms. That's the thing of the past. We are not doing it anymore.
Right, everything can be done right there in like your own, and also it's more comfortable too because you have to, you have to fly to these places. You have like, per diem for the day to pay for food and that type of thing. So everything can be done right from the person's home.
The customer wants speed, the customer wants accuracy, the customer wants reskill the employees, especially in the industries where you have a lot of attrition. I will give you another example. We do a lot of work for a major restaurant chain. I will not name it, but 1.2 million employees, a lot of attrition, constantly new people coming in. It used to be that they would bring those employees in groups of 20, 25, 30, and train them for weeks, 4 or 5 weeks before they started working in the store. We do this using augmented reality, virtual reality, and AI. We cut the process down to 2 3 days. After 3 days, this employee is fully prepared to work in the environment that it used to take weeks at the time. So think about the cost saving, the ability to retrain rapidly when you have to improve certain skills, and the savings to a major corporation that has attrition to the tune of 50, 60% a year, 1.2 million employees. It's a huge, huge saving. So the environment is very different. The tools available are very different. And like I said, we're scratching the surface of what to come with AI. AI is really will make a huge, huge difference, specifically in training, specifically in reskilling the workforce.
And now talking about, the employees and, that type of thing, but what about leaders? Leadership. How do you think this is going to change leadership and what it is to be a leader and how to kind of forge forward?
I believe that leadership skills will be equally affected. But one thing as leaders that we have the obligation, and I think we need to think about it long and hard, in the process, we should always remember that behind every technology we have people, people who depend on this technology, and we shouldn't lose sight of importance of human interaction. We will not be able to lead companies just by sending out emails or electronic communications. The human touch, touching our employees, being able to communicate the challenges and the opportunities, not forgetting the well-being of our employees is so critical for every leader, because businesses depending on employees. And the employees today are global employees. And the employees want to have the opportunity to grow with technology. They don't want to be left behind. So recognizing this is so critical for any leader, and creating opportunities for employees to excel, to succeed in this new business environment. And yes, it's a lot of fear out there. Some people are concerned, will they be able to keep up? Will they be able to adapt the new technologies? Are they replaceable? And my take on this is no, we need to help our people to move forward with technology, because at the end of the day, the job may look a little bit different. We will be asking them to do different tasks, but we still will be heavily dependent on our employees. Very important for any leader to remember this.
And now what, like for the future of the company, CGS, what are some of the things that you see in the future or where you want to, to take things?
So, we had a very successful run for 42 years. We had uninterrupted growth. The company is never had a dollar borrowed. We are debt free for 42 years. We invest in our people. We invest in our facilities. We invest in our infrastructure. And global expansion is what we're trying to accomplish. As I mentioned, we operate and we have customers in 52 countries around the globe. We believe that our solutions can serve the world, and we are still scratching the surface. The opportunities are incredibly big in every line of business we pursue. In the fashion industry, I mentioned, we are probably the number one solution provider in the world. Why? We have a great product. We cover the whole gamut of a need of a fashion manufacturer, fashion importer, fashion distributor, from product design, manufacturing, logistics, financial, ERP. We have it all. And the most important element, we have people who grew up in the industry. We understand the fashion industry because we have about 450 employees that came out of the fashion industry. They know how to deal with the issues of this industry. And I always say that some people think that dealing with building a car is more complex than building a shirt. A shirt has 28 parts, and it's a complex business to manufacture fashion today. So we involved in enabling our customers using AI in planning and forecasting and better improving the manufacturing cycles. That's the goal of what we do here. On the outsourcing side, we support some of the largest technology companies in the world. Financial fintech companies, back office support, multilingual, 25 different languages are being delivered by this company. So this is a very complex business environment. We are trusted by some of the large global enterprises that totally rely on our capabilities, and we want to take it to the next level. And then, of course, is the immersive business, which is we in early stages. The product was born, we're saying it was born in AI, it was conceived with AI in mind, and really we have tremendous opportunities, and the product is being adopted by some of the largest global brands. So we are very optimistic about the future.
Yeah, very exciting stuff. And if people wanted more information on computer generated solutions, where would they go? The website? Is that the best place?
Yes, our website is www.cgsinc.com, but we are rebranding the company, so it will be some new websites coming online in the very immediate future. But the company, is expanding. I think every location. And we are in 9 countries, as I mentioned. So in North America, we have operations in US, Canada. In Latin America, we in Chile and Colombia. In Europe, we in UK and Romania. We in Israel, we in India. So every country has opportunities, and every country is involved in global support of our customers.
Well, definitely excited to see where things are going, and also hopefully maybe have you come back later on in 2026 and see where things are at that point when we're kind of heading into a lot more of the AI, and I know even in education they're using a lot more of immersive technology. So it's a very exciting time.
We live in very exciting and a very challenging time at the same time because
True.
we need to make sure that AI is properly handled because it has probably some dangers by taking over one day the way we think and the way we operate, and that's needs to be controlled. And I think it needs to be in some respect regulated. But the opportunities are so immersive and incredibly big that I believe the future is bright, and we're only scratching the surface. We don't fully comprehend where it will take us.
In the future. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it.
It was a pleasure to meet.
Thank you for joining the Business Roundup, where we always try to bring you interviews with some of the leading people in business, whether it be technology, finance, or energy. I hope you tune in. I hope you subscribe and listen, and we'll give you updates for new interviews that are coming up. Until next time, I'm Melissa Bell.